What? What? Like, where's the humanity? Want to know how to promote your direct sales business online? You are in luck, because today we're going to be covering 5 different strategies that you can use to bring new leads that are interested in your topic or your product or your service into your business.
I love it.
And the best part is they're all free.
I want to be part of it.
You don't even have to pay for ads for any of these to work for you. I'm Amy Walker, small business strategist, and I have helped many entrepreneurs and small business owners be able to grow their business to 6 figures and even 7 figures. And I have worked with many successful network marketers, direct sellers, in order to be able to take their business and build an online component to it so they can get consistent leads coming in. So I know this works. I know it might not be the traditional model, but it is the way that direct sales is going, because it's the way that all sales and marketing are going. So in this video today, we are going to give you 5 different strategies that you can use that will help you open up doors to be able to bring new leads into your business. So here's the 5 strategies that we're going to cover today. We're going to cover challenge groups on Facebook. We're going to cover joint venture webinars. We're going to talk about how to use Facebook Lives effectively. We are going to talk about content creation and where you should be posting. We are also going to talk a little bit about what to post. And then the last thing I'm going to share with you is, because I didn't know if I wanted to share this or not, because honestly, network marketers, direct sellers, you guys are giving direct messaging a really bad name. And so I thought, I'm not even going to tell them about it, but then I thought, no, I need to tell them how to do it right. So we are going to talk about how to use prospecting and direct messaging in a positive way that does not give everyone a bad name.
Shameful.
The first strategy I'm going to recommend is creating a challenge group. Now, this is not a sales group. This is not an event. This is actually creating a 5-day or a 7-day challenge. So if you sell exercise videos, then you could go in and you could create a 5-day workout challenge. If you create health supplements, you could do a 5-day challenge for weight loss, or a 5-day challenge for healthy eating, or a 5-day challenge for better sleep. Or if you are selling something that is going to help them with their finances or save them money, you could do a 5 days to cut $100 off of your budget challenge. Something along those lines. But it's the idea that they get to come in, they get to create a result and a win with you within that time. Now, during that challenge, you are not talking about your direct sales product, your direct sales product, your direct sales product. You're giving them content, usable content that is relevant for their life, and then you're seeding your direct sales business. So at the end, you can offer your direct sales product. That's a really effective tool for being able to create trust so that they want to say yes to you.
Yes, it's true.
Number 2 is joint venture webinars. This is finding somebody who already works with your ideal client, and then together the 2 of you create a training and you each promote it to all of your audiences. So let's say that you do a health and wellness product, and let's say that there's somebody else who does online yoga classes. Well, those 2 topics work really well together. So you reach out to online yoga teacher and you say, hey, I teach health and wellness, you teach yoga. Let's get together. We can do a training or an event together, and then we'll each promote it to our people, and it helps to build our audience. I would not recommend doing these joint ventures with other network marketers, because what will happen is a lot of cross recruiting. And I am personally not a believer that you should be doing more than one direct sales business. I know that's not always a popular belief, but I just think focus is good, and you don't want to have your people going and joining someone else's team. Facebook Lives are so free, and they are so accessible, and they are so easy to get going with. And I know, and your voice in your back of your mind is saying, but I hate myself on video and I never know what to talk about. That is just building skill And honestly, if you really want to build your business online, you do need to get comfortable with video because video is where everything is moving. It's the fastest growing marketing strategy online. So it just takes practice. I'm not great on every single video, but I have practiced enough on video that I'm comfortable being in this space. It doesn't mean that I started out that way, and you can get there too.
How strong is it? Could it hold Mark?
We actually have a video.
So with your Facebook Lives, you're gonna set up an event for the live, and then you're gonna invite 500 people to the event. Then once the live starts, I recommend that someone on your team start tagging all of the people that RSVP'd that they were going to come. That way, they'll show up and pop into the live, and once they're in the live, then Facebook will start showing that to more people. Now, what should you talk about in your lives? That's the number one question I get asked, but I don't even know what to talk about in my live. Well, that's gonna move us into our next tip, which is content creation. This is a strategy that I recommend to all of my clients, not just direct sellers and network marketers. It's that you find 3 pillars of information that you're going to talk about. So, for example, in my business, I talk about client acquisition, which is like sales and marketing. I talk about balancing your business and your family. And I talk about leadership and how to grow a stronger company. So all of my topics are gonna fall into one of those 3 pillars. Now, you're not gonna hear me talking about things like curly hair, even though I am kind of a curly hair fanatic. You're not gonna hear me talking about things like latest fashion trends because I don't know them or really have fashion. So I keep to those topics. Now, once I know what my 3 pillars are, which is a principle I learned from Frank Kern, then the next thing I would recommend is that you use the tree principle, which is something that I learned from Nate Woodbury. So if I look at the trunks of my message, one is how to get clients. Then I can look at all the branches that exist within there. And so if I look at how to get clients, there's a branch called marketing, there's a branch called sales, there's a branch called partnerships, there's a branch called referrals, and then when I look within that, each branch has a bunch of leads. So when I look at marketing, oh my gosh, there's so many leads. We can talk about email marketing, we can talk about copywriting, we can talk about ads. There's so many different things we can talk about. And if you'll just make a little diagram for yourself of a tree, give yourself the trunk, put in the branches, now pick out what are all of the leaves, you'll never run out of things to talk about. And if you do, you can go talk about the things you've already talked about because guess what? They don't remember that you talked about it a year or 2 ago.
You may remember me from last season when I presented you with a revolutionary new idea.
Can I just tell you, I've been creating social media content for about 8 years. And I actually keep records of all of the old stuff that I've posted. I can literally go back 3 years and I don't remember what I posted. I look at it and I'm like, wow, that's really good advice. I don't even remember ever saying that. So I promise you, your audience is not gonna notice if you start recycling content. So that's how you pick your topics for your written posts and also for your videos.
I'll be back, by the way.
Now comes the sticky part, the DMs. Bum, bum, bum. You guys are killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. Killing me softly with your crappy spammy emails.
Right here.
Wow.
It's getting bad, you guys. I was literally with my grandmother who was dying and having my final goodbyes with her. And I was sitting in her room. She wasn't even awake or conscious. I was just sitting there contemplating life. And I got on my phone to check and text some family members. And I had a message from someone. And she reached out and she gave me a pitch for her network marketing business. And I looked through the history, and the only time she has ever communicated with me ever are to pitch me for her business. Now she was doing, it wasn't just like, hey, buy my stuff. It was like, hey, I've been following your content. It's really great. I love what you do. You're super inspiring. I think you'd be great at doing what I do. Would you be interested in sampling this thing? Or could I send you some products? Or, I mean, every time it was a pitch. And she was following the formula, right? I get it. And so I wrote back and I was nice. And I said, you know, it's really not a good time for me. My grandma's in the process of passing away, and I wish you luck in your business because I know what it's like to be in her shoes, and I support you, direct sellers. I really do. But she responded back and she said, that sounds great. I'll reach out to you in 2 weeks. What?
Oh, I'm so out.
What? Like, where's the humanity? Where's the, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'll pray for you and your family. Grandmas are the best. I sure miss mine. That's so sad. I'm really sorry. How can I support you? Nothing. And I was like, yeah, I'm out. Like, nope, I am done with that. Now, I'm not saying that you're doing things quite that extreme, but if your strategy of building online is just to use direct messenger to pitch everybody that you're acquainted with, then that is not good and you're doing damage to your brand and you have got to stop.
Bad one. Got anything else?
So here's how we use direct messenger. First of all, we are going to create relationships with people who could be our ideal clients. Secondly, we're going to engage in the public forum. So we're going to comment on their stuff. They're going to see then our stuff show up. They'll start commenting on our stuff. Then we're going to use our Facebook Lives and our content in order to start answering questions that our ideal clients have. When they start engaging with us, then we can send them direct messages because now they're interested, now they're engaging, now they're asking questions. And then when we go into the direct messenger, we're not sending a pitch. What we're doing is we're saying things like, hey, thanks so much for your comment on my post today. Tell me more about this. And then you ask them more about what they talked about in the public forum, but you ask it in the private forum. And then when they come back and they tell you a little bit more about it, you give them a piece of advice and you say, you know, if you're interested in chatting more, I'd love to discuss this with you. And then you get on a call, and in the call, you see if there's a need, you see if there's alignment, and then you pitch. But by this point, it doesn't feel sleazy, it doesn't feel spammy. It feels like a natural extension of a conversation that you've been having over the course of a couple weeks. It doesn't have to take a year's worth of nurturing. Some of you are too scared to even make the pitch. It doesn't take a year. It's just a couple of weeks of actual engagement and relationship building, so they don't feel like, oh, that's why they friended me. Oh, that's why the guy from high school reached out. Nice. Pitchy, Pete, spammy, Sally, you need to relax. You should really be building your business online. It's going to help you grow faster. It's going to help you build a bigger base, and it will help you get to those higher levels in your company structure faster. And you always know where the people are coming from. So you never have to stalk people in line at the grocery store and listen in on their conversations and see how you can work in, your opportunity. It is so much more peaceful and enjoyable.
Get up every morning and be like, I can't wait to blow that up.
I'm going to make you 2 offers. Number 1, go check out the Marketing on a Budget playlist because it is full of content that is going to help you decrease your costs and increase your ROI so that you can find more leads for less. And second, I want to offer you a free copy of my book. It's called the I'm Not a Salesperson Sales Book, Sell Like a Natural Even If You're Not, and it is going to give you the scripts, the words, the confidence that you need to be able to sell your product and your opportunity with ease. We have come to the end of our video, and for that reason, I'm out. But you shouldn't be. Go check out that next video.